Hi there, it's Heather. Thanks for joining me. This is a voiceover of a video I made a little while ago when I was adding the flowers to the inspiration journal that I made, and I showed that in my last video. It's taken me a while to get around to doing the voiceover, so forgive me. I've not done a video recently, so I thought I'd better upload this one. You can see I've got some gold book rings, and I'm thinking of possibly changing those out in the book now because I used gold wire for the leaves. Anyway, moving on to the flowers. So what I've done is punch out 3 flower shapes for each flower, and I've used a 1.5 inch daisy punch, and the one I've used is by Dovecraft. You can see that the ones that I've used on the book here, that one's actually used a flocked paper, and it's ever so nice, very textural. So that's the punch that I use, but you can get them anywhere, and there are numerous different brands, but I just happen to use the Dovecraft because it's what I had. So what you do is punch out 3 shapes from the daisy punch, and on the underside of the punch out you take a scalpel or a craft knife and just score very lightly from the centre of the flower to the end of each petal, and that just provides a little score indentation, so it makes it really easy to shape the petals, and just makes them a bit more dimensional. So you score the underside of each of the flowers, and try not to cut through. Obviously using a scalpel or a craft knife, they are quite sharp, so you do have to be careful not to cut all the way through. So it's very light scoring, but that's just enough so that you can then fold each petal and make them a bit more dimensional. I did speed the video up, but obviously I'm doing 2 flowers here, so sorry, it seems to take an enormously long time when you're watching it and doing a voiceover. So there we go, I'm just scoring the last flower, then we turn them all the right way up, and the next stage is to create the dimension. So all I'm doing is just pressing each petal each side inwards, and that just makes the petal shaped basically. So it's really simple. So I'm doing it for all 3. I've used 3 shapes. You can get away with 2, or you could use them singly if you like. It's just I found that 3 seems to make the best shape of a flower that I've found. So I'm just pushing each one inwards. And I do that for every one so that I can make 2 flowers. So when I have done the shaping of the petals, now you can do the next stage sort of before you shape them if you like, but I chose to do it afterwards. I take some ink, and I just use one of the distress inks for this particular one, but you can use any ink, and then all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of ink to the edge of the white petals, and that again just accentuates the shape of the petals. So I really like to do that. This idea, by the way, isn't mine. It was shown to me by my sister, and I believe she may have seen it on YouTube, and this was a number of years ago. You may well have made these, and you know, I'm certainly not claiming it as my idea, but sometimes it's just nice to see somebody do something like, oh, how did they make that? So I thought I'd just explain how I did it. So obviously it's really simple and easy, and you've probably done it loads yourself anyway. So the next stage is just to add a blob of glue to the centre of 2 of your little flowers, because you're going to layer them up. With this one, I'm just offsetting the petals slightly so that you can see as many of the petals as possible. But even if you don't offset the petals, as the white one, I don't offset them quite as much, it still makes it really dimensional, and you can tease them upwards, and that just makes them really really dimensional. So you can just sort of lift the petals up, obviously when the glue is dry. So the next stage is to add a centre to the petals. So again, I'm using this Trim-It glue, which I've found is absolutely fantastic for adding embellishments, because it really does stick fast. So I'm picking out a couple of buttons for these ones, but obviously I use different centres on the book that I did. But I think the daisy looks fantastic with the little yellow button in the middle. I just think they're so cute. They're so simple and easy, but they're absolutely gorgeous, and it's fantastic to have a few on hand. So there you go. So that's basically them done. This one I used a dazzler, I think that's what they're called, so it's sort of very pretty and sparkly. And this one I used individual little tiny rhinestones, which does take a while to do, but looks very effective. But you can use anything in the middle of them, really. I've also used bits of felt roving as well, which looks really cute, and it's great for making sunflowers. So there you go. So that's the punch that I used. It's a Dovecraft 1.5-inch daisy punch, but you can get numerous different punches from numerous different brands. So thanks very much for joining me. I hope it was useful. I know you've probably done it already, but there you go. That's how I make them. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.